Welcome to Oak Tree Stories, timeless tales rooted in India. Here you'll find gentle, thoughtful tales drawn from our rich storytelling traditions, from ancient fables and folklore to heartwarming slices of modern Indian life. Each story is carefully chosen and lovingly crafted to be age appropriate and calming, with just a touch of wonder. So come, get cozy, and let the story begin. Hi, I'm Shalini, your storyteller. Before we begin today's story, I'd love to tell you about something special from Oak Tree Stories. Have you ever imagined stepping inside a story yourself? And what if the hero of the adventure had your name? What if the story took place in your favorite park, your grandparents' village, or even your own home? At Oak Tree Stories, we create personalized stories where children become part of the adventure themselves. Each story is lovingly crafted around the child, their interests, and the people and places they love the most. If you'd like a personalized story created especially for your child, visit www.oaktreebooks.in/Oak Tree Stories to learn more. And now for today's story. Most stories begin in a forest, or a village, or a kingdom far away. But this story begins in a place you might recognize: an apartment building in a busy city, with neighbors coming and going, children playing downstairs, and lifts that sometimes take their own sweet time. It's a story about a garden on a terrace, the people who cared for it, and how sometimes the smallest things can help a community grow. All right then, find a comfortable place, take a deep breath, and let's begin. In an old apartment complex in Bengaluru lived a girl named Ananya. The apartment buildings were not new. Their paint had faded in places. The lifts moved slowly. And many of the trees in the courtyard were older than the children who played beneath them. Ananya had moved there only a few months ago. Most afternoons, after finishing her homework, she would ride her bicycle around the compound, past the security gate, past the little shop that sold milk and biscuits, past the swings where younger children played. One evening, while chasing a paper plane that drifted away in the wind, Ananya climbed the stairs to the terrace. She expected to find water tanks, maybe a few pigeons, but nothing more. Instead, she found a garden. Rows and rows of pots stretched across the terrace. Bright marigolds, jasmine vines, tomato plants, curry leaves, chilies. Butterflies drifted between the flowers. Bees hummed lazily in the warm evening air. And in the middle of it all stood an elderly woman holding a watering can. Everyone in the building called her Kamala Auntie, though to most of the children, she was simply Dodamma. As Ananya watched, Dodamma bent down beside a pot. "Good evening, Joseph," she said. "You've grown 2 new leaves. Well done." Ananya looked around. There was nobody there. A moment later, Dodamma moved to another plant. "Mariam," she sighed dramatically, "if you keep showing off like this, the marigolds will get jealous." Ananya burst out laughing. Dodamma turned around. "Oh," she said, "I didn't realize I had an audience." "Are you talking to your plants?" asked Ananya. "Of course," said Dodamma. "As far as I know, nobody else is talking to them." That made Ananya laugh even harder. From that day on, she visited the terrace often. Sometimes she helped carry watering cans. Sometimes she pulled weeds. Sometimes she simply sat on an overturned bucket and listened to Dodamma talk. And the more time she spent in the garden, the more curious she became about the little wooden tags hanging from some of the pots. Joseph, Mariam, Leela, Raghavan. Some plants had them, but others didn't. One evening, while helping Dodamma water the roses, she finally asked, "Who are they?" Dodamma smiled. "I'm tired today. Come back tomorrow and I will tell you," she said. The next evening, Ananya returned. Dodamma pointed to a jasmine plant. "This one belonged to my childhood friend Leela," she said. "We grew up together. When she moved away, she gave me a cutting from her garden." Then she pointed towards a curry leaf plant. "Joseph lived downstairs for many years. And Mariam, she taught me how to grow roses." "And Raghavan?" asked Ananya. "He fixed everyone's bicycles," said Dodamma. A smile appeared on her face, as though she could still see him pedaling across the compound. Ananya looked around the terrace. Suddenly, the garden seemed different. It wasn't just filled with plants. It was filled with stories. Then she noticed something else. One pot had a wooden tag too, but it was blank, no name. "Who does this belong to?" asked Ananya. Dodamma looked at the empty tag. "Not yet," she said. "Not yet what?" "Not yet named." And no matter how many times Ananya asked, Dodamma refused to explain. The mystery remained. Over the following months, Ananya discovered more stories. A hibiscus from a family that had moved overseas. A mango sapling planted when a grandchild was born. A flowering vine from a neighbor who no longer lived in the building. The terrace was like a map, not of roads or cities, but of people. One evening, Dodamma handed Ananya a tiny sapling. "What is this?" asked Ananya. "A gardener should always have a plant of her own," said Dodamma. From then on, Ananya cared for the little plant herself. She watered it, checked its leaves, and proudly measured every new bit of growth. Months passed. Then one evening, Dodamma wasn't there. Ananya didn't worry. Everyone missed a day now and then. But the next day, the terrace was still empty. And the day after that, the watering can stood untouched. The garden seemed strangely quiet. Finally, Ananya asked her mother, "Where is Dodamma?" "Oh," said her mother, "I thought you knew. Kamla auntie is in the hospital." Ananya felt her stomach sink. Is she all right?" "She'll be fine," said her mother, "but she'll need to rest for a few weeks." That evening, Ananya climbed to the terrace carrying a bottle of water. Just one bottle, just enough for a few plants. The next evening, she returned. Then the evening after that. A neighbor noticed. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Watering Dodamma's plants," she said. The next day, he brought a watering can. A few days later, another neighbor arrived carrying compost. Someone repaired a broken pot. Someone else planted fresh seedlings. Little by little, more people began visiting the terrace. People who had lived in the same building for years stopped to introduce themselves. Children ran and chased butterflies among the sunflowers. Neighbors exchanged gardening tips while watering the roses. And before long, the terrace was filled not only with flowers and vegetables, but with conversation. One evening, while they worked, a neighbor smiled and said, "You know, there are studies that say plants grow better when people talk to them." Ananya immediately thought of Dodamma. The terrace suddenly felt very quiet without her voice. The next evening, she was watering the plants alone. The sun was setting. The garden was peaceful. Without really thinking about it, she bent down beside a curry leaf plant. "Good evening, Joseph," she said softly. Then she laughed because she sounded exactly like Dodamma. And somehow it just felt right. Several weeks later, Dodamma finally returned home. The very next evening, she climbed the stairs to the terrace, slowly, carefully. Ananya hurried up behind her. When Dodamma reached the top step, she stopped. The garden was blooming more brightly than ever before. Flowers spilled over the edges of pots. Fresh seedlings stood in neat rows. New plants had appeared where there had once been empty spaces. For a long moment, Dodamma simply stared. Then she noticed something near the center of the terrace. The pot with the empty tag. A young jasmine sapling now grew there. Dodamma looked at it in surprise, because hanging from one of its slender branches was a wooden label. Dodamma leaned closer. Written on it in careful letters was a single name: Kamala. She looked up. "We chose jasmine," said Ananya softly, "because it fills an entire terrace with its fragrance, just like you." The neighbors were gathered around her, smiling. For a moment, Dodamma could not speak. She looked around the terrace at all the plants carrying other people's stories, and then at the little sapling carrying her own. Very gently, she touched one of its leaves and smiled. And that was today's story about a terrace garden, a girl named Ananya, and a very special Dodamma. At the beginning of the story, Ananya thought the garden was filled with plants. But little by little, she discovered something else. It was filled with stories. Stories of friends, neighbors, families, and people who had left behind something worth remembering. And perhaps that is what made Dodamma's garden so special. Not the flowers, not the vegetables, not even the butterflies, but the way it helped people remember one another and eventually help people get to know one another too. If you enjoyed today's story, we would love to see what it inspires you to create. You can send us your drawings, paintings, crafts, costumes, Lego creations, writing, poetry, music, or any other artwork inspired by one of our stories through the art submission form on our website at www.oaktreebooks.in/oaktreestories. We will give you a special shout out in a future episode and share your artwork on our social media pages. And if you would like to support Oak Tree Stories, grown-ups can also make a donation through our website. Every contribution helps us continue creating gentle stories inspired by the rich storytelling traditions of India. And don't forget, you can ask a grown-up to follow Oak Tree Stories on social media so you never miss a new story. You can find us both on Instagram and Facebook at Oak Tree Stories. This episode of Oak Tree Stories was brought to you by Shalini, Shannon, and Sushma. Until next time, keep listening, keep wondering, and keep making room for new stories to grow.